Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be looking at the scrapper and what all we get from the scrapper whenever we use it. In my opinion, I think the scrapper is going to be a good source of getting Expulsom. Um, it seems that the bracer is going to be the cheapest item to craft again. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to craft a bunch of bracers and scrap them all. And that way we're going to take a look and see what all we get from scrapping those bracers and then try to pinpoint which bracer might be the best one to use to get Expulsom from. That's a small sample size, but I did round up enough mats to make 350 of the leather bracers, 100 of the blacksmith bracers, and 200 of the cloth bracers. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the leather arm guards. I can actually craft 350. I already have 25 crafted, so my total that I'm going to craft today is 375. I can only fit 140 in my bags, so I'll have to utilize my bank space and then make trips from my bank to the scrapper to scrap them all. So let me go ahead and do a create all and get these started crafting. While those are being crafted, I want to talk about my spreadsheet a little bit. I will have the link to this down in the description in case you guys would like to use it. Just go to File and select Make a Copy, and that'll copy it to your Google Drive, or you can download it. Okay, so over here on the left, this is where I break down how much it's costing me. You fill in the green boxes. So it needs a total of 6 coarse leather. And right now, just as an example, I'll mark the market value of each leather to be 75 gold and the bones to be 10 gold. So if that was true, then it would cost me 490 gold to craft an arm guard. So this is something you'd change depending on the value of your leather and bone. Over on the right side, this is where we're going to put how many arm guards that we just crafted. So for the leather, it's going to be 375. Right now I have 10, and also have some items listed here as just an example as I was working on my spreadsheet. I just kind of get an idea of what I'm doing before I put the real results in. So I scrapped 10 items as an example, and these are the items that come out of that. Expulsom, coarse leather, tempest hide, hardened tempest hide, the bone and oil. So right now I have it in decimal format. You are able to select that and change this to a percentage if that'll work better for you. Right now you can see that I got 5 Expulsom out of 10 arm guards. Again, this is just fake data that I just put in just for example. So that means 50% of the time I'm getting Expulsom. So if that's really true, then that means each Expulsom is worth 12 leather. And then that means that it's costing me 900 gold for each Expulsom. So that's how I have my spreadsheet laid out. So this tells me that if I'm crafting leather arm guards, I'm getting 900 gold for each Expulsom. And we might find out that the total cost for Expulsom is more expensive or at a better market value going with one of these other bracers, and that's really what I'm trying to find out. So I will delete all this data before I add the new in. Again, this is just an example. At some other point I will go in and add the market values for these other items. That is one thing. Right now my spreadsheet is only basing this on, for example, like this leather bracers, it's only factored in the cost of the leather. In reality, I'm also getting bone, oil, tempest hide, and those items as well out of the scrapper, but I'm not including those in when I count the cost of the Expulsom. So as in I could sell the leather, I can reuse it to craft other things. So I mean, those items do hold a value, and later on I will go ahead and factor those in as I update my spreadsheet. Currently I'm just factoring in just the Expulsom only, as if the rest of this is going to be garbage. Again, I know that they're not going to be, they're just not factored in at the moment. So it's just something to keep in mind. So my inventory is about full. I still have 40 more bracers that I need to craft for the leather worker. I need to start scrapping some of this so I can make room for the rest of the crafted items I need to craft. So we want to right click on the Scrap-O-Matic 1000, and then we're just going to right click 9 items to put in the scrapper, and just hit the scrap button. Okay, so from those 9 items we got 13 leather and 5 of the bone. Okay, I got all 350 armors crafted. I also had 25 in my bank that I crafted right before. So this brings a total of 375. I had to scrap some of them to make some room. So let me go ahead and finish scrapping these, and then we'll check out our results. Okay, just finished scrapping the 350 bracers. Actually 375. We ended up with 579 leather back out of that. 197 bloodstained bone, and 49 expulsum. So let me go ahead and add that to our spreadsheet. 49, 579. Okay, so now the question is, since we got 579 leather, do we reinvest that back in and scrap whatever else I can make? So do I want to keep reducing this down to I don't have any more mats to craft with, and then all this, like this number wouldn't be adjusted because it'd be 375. This is what came out of that 375. So do I want to use this and make more bracers so I get more expulsum? It will definitely bring the cost down. And I think I'll just let it be how it is here, and move on to the next one. Okay, so the expulsum, we actually got 13% chance of getting expulsum. Okay, on my tailor, and we're going to make 200 of the bracers. Okay, finished the 200 cloth bracers. We got 36, 96, and 285. So let's add that to our spreadsheet. And so looking here, we're looking at 18% versus 13%. So a little bit, but not that big of an increase. This is a small sample size, but cloth bracers is going to show out a little bit more than what the leather bracers are if you're doing this for the expulsum. Okay, just finished the 100 blacksmith bracers. Ended up with 11, 127, and 39. Okay, I was a little surprised to see a durable flux come out of that, as we didn't even use that. That wasn't even a crafting mat to make those bracers. So here it looks like it's only 11%. Although my sample size is small, it's only 100. Maybe if I had 500, you might see this number change a little bit. Although, the cloth bracers at 18%, even though we only had 200 of those, 375 of the leather arm guards, we got 13% expulsum. So a couple afterthought. There's a couple other things that still need testing. Now this is just a small part of it. I mean, like for example, what's the difference? What would be the difference between the blue quality items versus the green quality items? Would we see different expulsum rates come out of that? For my study here, I just threw everything in. I didn't separate the blue quality and green quality items. The other thing you can consider is what if we continued to use the mats until we was no longer to craft anything? Like we talked about whenever I was doing the leather bracers, what if I continued to use that leather to make more arm guards until I wasn't able to use, or until my mats ran out? That would increase the percentage of expulsum out of the mats. And I mean, there's definitely a good argument for that. To continue to use the stuff that you scrapped. But yeah, that's another thing that needs to be tested. Also, this is a small sample size. We're not talking about 10,000 arm guards being crafted and scrapped. I got the mats, whatever I was able to get on for the beta. The mats are pretty expensive, so it took me a little while to gather up what I did gather up. Some of the stuff I did go out and gather myself as well. So the time that I had, this is what I gathered up to be able to do this. Another note, I am going to continue to update my spreadsheet once the expansion goes live. Of course, the live data, things may change, they may not change. Not sure, but I definitely want to, test it out and see if those things did change and what's going on. Overall, though, if we go back look at the spreadsheet again, I think basically though I'm just going to go with whatever mat's cheaper. I mean, if the leather is cheaper, for example, to get than what the cloth and the ore is, my expulsion cost for me is going to be much lower. So I mean that's definitely the way I want to go. Even though the percentage rate, 18% of the cloth, but if cloth is more expensive, I mean it takes 10 cloth to use, to where it's only 6 leather. So even though this test was done, I think the end result's going to be really is for me to use whatever mat's cheaper for me. Even though this uses 10, let's say the mat cost for this went down to 50 gold, for example, well then the Expulsom would be cheaper to craft with the cloth. And even if the mats for the same price, the leather and the cloth, since I use more cloth, it's going to make the cloth ones more expensive. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what the mat cost end up being once we go live. These are just some quick numbers I threw in there. The items might go up to 200 gold, 500 gold. I don't know what the mat costs are going to be whenever the expansion first comes out. It's definitely going to be pretty high. So okay, there's my findings. Hope it has helped you guys out there. Feel free to click on the link down below in the description and make a copy of this scrapper results sheet for yourself that you can either keep, type in your own data, whatever you wish to do. Okay, thank you everyone who watching. Don't forget to thumbs up. Please subscribe for my channel so you can get other videos that come out. And leave a comment. I would love to hear from you guys.